Hi, I'm Daniel and this is Ashville Weekly, episode 127. It's Monday morning. I'm in the yard. Time is 6:45. Last week you saw us moving around all the bits in the fuel bay area, and now we are putting the signs back in place. We've got the refueling sign, not like you didn't know, but it's just informational for people who haven't been here before so they can see, and we're going to stick the defect checks and signs on the side of the fuel tank, once again just to give everyone a little reminder before they leave the yard. Let's do it. I also told you last week about a new venture. That new venture is going to need a website. So I'm speaking with Meds, and what we need to do is look at the other people in that sector who already have websites, and we need to use some special NASA software so we can see what keywords they're using. We can then work out the keywords what we're going to be using for our website, and we're going to build the website and the names of the pages around those keywords. With the new venture we're planning, this roll-on-roller flatbed is going to come in very handy for us. It's going to have a whole new purpose, which is what we built it for. But once again, it does make me regret selling the Arctics. I'm not going to lie, I regret selling them. I couldn't even replace them now if I wanted to for the same money, and they were good lorries in Ashville spec. You live and you learn. The time now is 12 minutes past 9. I feel like I've done a day's work already. In the backyard, the concrete slab that we poured for the new water tank is now dry. It's had the entire weekend. So we're gonna begin to put the concrete blocks in place. When we get to about 5 blocks high, we're gonna put some steel road plates on top of it. Then the tank can go in place. We can brace the tank. And at the same time, Mikey's gonna run some 32mm pipe all along the back of the material bays and get it connected. And hopefully for a big pour, we'll never run out of water again. Michael, my brother, I feel older than you. Some of us wake up in the morning.
I was here this morning at 20 to 6 when you lot were all snoring for England. We had a load of non-runners.
Why?
One fella really ain't well. No, really ain't well.
Okay.
Don't feel well. No one feels well on a Monday. Me and you feel even worse, but we still got to turn up.
We still got to turn up, mate. As you would say, if we don't turn up, we'll have nothing left. You looking forward to Saturday?
Yeah, of course I am. The only thing is we haven't got our favourite band this year, so...
Sorry, who is our favourite band?
Gary Owen. He interchanges it with a bit of modern, bit of garage.
Does he know any Drake or Future?
Yeah, he does all that. He does a bit of... what's your mate called?
My mate? Oh, Stormzy.
Yeah. Stormzy does a bit of Stormzy. Really mixes it for the paddy. You know what I'm saying, dear?
And just out of interest, why are we celebrating Paddy's Day a week before Paddy's Day?
The weekend for St Patrick's Day, you've got the rugby on, the parade on. People think,
well, I'm going to the rugby, so I don't really want to go there.
So a lot of them don't turn up.
I've got QPR Watford first, and then I'm coming to your event.
If you go to QPR dressed properly, with your tie, your dicky bow on.
No, I won't be doing that. I'm just going to have to bring a change of clothes with me, and I'll have to get changed on the middle of the dance floor while everyone's eating their dinner.
Oh, what a sight. Make sure you put clean boxer shorts on then. I know you've got that other lot. What's it called? The advert.
You mean the Manscaped, yeah?
I need some Manscaped gear, a pair of boxer shorts and some shaving equipment.
Right.
And some moisturising cream, because we do need to moisturise in the morning.
Mate, as a tropical people, I have to moisturise before I leave the house, otherwise my elbows and knees will look like the Sahara Desert.
Me being a paddy, we have to moisturise as well, because our skin is very tough from being out all hours of the day, morning and evening. We are the people that built Britain, yeah?
I'm well aware. I'm well aware, mate.
Yes. And can you remember too, my hoodie, and also I would like a body warmer. Not a double XL, because that double XL looks a bit big on you.
Mate, I think that's your size.
Well, no, I'm an XL.
I wear
I
XL.
don't need, no. You have a bigger belly than giant haystacks.
Me?
Yeah.
How do you know about giant haystacks? You used to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just calling you for a catch up, and I'll give you a shout in a bit. Tuesday morning. I'm on the road again. Daniel is rolling on the road again. I'm on the M5, the world's biggest car park, trying to get to my destination. Last night, the night took a turn which I was able to navigate around. We were looking at a job today around 10 o'clock for a professional athlete, their house refurbishment. But last night, their plans changed and they're not going to be back in the country. So I had to quickly get on to everyone because I put together a team. Our architect, people from different sites, people from the yard were all going to go and have a look at the same time so we could give some ballpark costs and give some ideas as to what was happening. But I had to quickly get hold of everyone without trying to intrude on their privacy at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And then there's another job, what we're also looking at. So I managed to speak to them and I managed to change it all round. And then I had to send a WhatsApp to everyone telling them, listen, that meeting has been cancelled. Sorry to disturb you so late. Can you confirm you've received this? And then I sent out an email that they can read in their own time with what they're going to be doing today. And I mapped it out, addresses, who they're going to be meeting, contacts. So sorted. I have a Zoom later with a bank. Banks are very important, and the bigger your business gets, the more important your banks are. But there's a problem with banks at the moment. Some banks are trying to keep up with other banks, but they're destroying their own reputation and they're going to lose all the clients they've got. There are a load of new banks online without high street stores. They are very cheap. You can go online and open an account very quickly. It's all very easy, and that's great. You want to keep your costs low, it's all online, you don't need to see a business manager. That works perfectly. The trouble is there are bigger banks who are trying to compete financially, and in order to do that, they need to cut costs. They don't want to pay for business managers. They don't want to give you a mobile of your business manager to have a conversation. They want you to do everything online. That's perfect if you've got a small business or you've just started or you don't have massive turnover. It doesn't mean you're not profitable, but it's perfect for you. But when you start to get to a certain level, you need a relationship with a bank. You can't be calling someone who they've put in there 2 weeks ago to only say
the computer says no.
Or every time you call the bank, they tell you to fill in a form online and then they lose it and tell you to do it again and say 6 weeks. When you get to a certain level of business, you cannot function with a bank like that. You need a personal manager who knows your business, knows you, can respond to you and be reactive and proactive, so you can keep in contact with them. They can tell you all the latest offers, they can give you advice, you can tell them what you've got coming up, you can tell them new plans, what you've got, and you could tell them if you know that you're going to have a pinch in your cash flow, how to overcome that, so you can do it before it happens. But you're not going to do that with an online bank that doesn't cost any money. The banks need to work out what they are. You're either a startup bank and your costs are very low, or you're a relationship bank for bigger businesses and people who want to talk. You can't be both. And I need a bank where I can have a relationship with my business manager and I know them and I can speak to them and I can talk through challenges. And I have a meeting tomorrow with another bank in the morning. So I'm going to decide, and then I know it's rigmarole and I know it's difficult, but then I'm going to have to remove over all my banking, then give everyone new account details. And when I give them new account details, they're going to ignore the first 15 emails and pay it to the old account and say they didn't know. They'll say they didn't know. They'll say I never sent it. They say they didn't receive the call. They'll send it to the old bank. And then you'll say, okay, no problem. You'll move the money yourself. And once you move the money yourself, they'll say it won't happen again. And then the next time they'll send it there again. And they'll say they didn't know. And it was automated. And they don't know how to change it, etc. But these are the challenges you go through. I am on the way to the refurbishment project, and the M5 is treating me very badly. At the refurbishment project, we are building up another wall. So the wall you can see here, this is to the ensuite bathroom, and this wall is going to build up and the steel here is going to sit on top of it. Now I showed you a couple of weeks back this wall, but I showed it to you from the bedroom side. Now this is going to go all the way up. This is a massive wall, and while the engineer says it's fine, we're a little bit worried about it. So what we're going to do with this wall is here, when these blocks of this wall get to this height, we're going to tie in this wall so it gets an extra bit of strength. First floor, the steels are in place. We haven't started with any of the rafter work yet, and we haven't bolted it down. but it's there or thereabouts. When this is in place, we're going to build up a double skinned wall across the front, and then we're going to have to clad. There's a part of the roof here where on the structural plans there wasn't a steel, but we're going to put one there anyway. There are two steels running adjacent to each other, but in between them there are two double timbers. Now there's a lot of the weight of the roof which is going to be sitting on that, so we're actually going to remove that, and we're going to have a steel connecting these two steels together, because we feel a lot more secure if the weight was actually sitting on that. I'm up in the loft. There's insulation going in between the rafters, but because we're working on different sections of it everywhere, the lads are coming up here, doing a bit of insulation, then they're getting down, then they're doing insulation somewhere else. When we put rafters in, then they're working in that area. And from up here, where I just was, you can see the shape of the steels from above. Over here, you can see us halfway through a roof. Different parts of the roof, halfway tiled. And if you look over here, you can see one where the insulation is in already. It's a bit of a mix and match, and where we can actually do the work, we are, and we're sequencing and moving around so we can try and complete the job on time. On this level, you can see the steel structure done. It's bolted in, it's been painted, and the rafters are in place. Now, while it looks like it's done, it's really not. Because this section, these rafters are outside and there's cladding which is going on it, there's a lot of intricate work we have to do to make it look how it looked previously. This area is outside. Everything before that red steel is internal. Everything here is external. These rafters will be exposed, and from the bottom when you look up, they will be painted in black. But on this section where there's a roof, where you can see we've notched out, there's going to be cladding. Now previously, the way they did the guttering, it didn't really work. So all around, we're going to take something which is about 1 inch, and we're going to put it on the front here, and then the guttering is going to be attached to this. That way we can manage the rainwater properly. Last week you saw us pour this slab and the slab at the front. Well, the slab at the front is going to have the 3 steps, and the slab which is here is going to have a brick wall which is at the back. Now that brick wall is the same bricks as the house. That's going to go along here. It's going to curve around here, finish here. Another wall is going to start on the other side and curve around and finish off and keep all this earth at bay. Then in the middle, we're going to have a staircase which looks exactly like that. And the new slab that we have poured here, that is going to be paving. So when you're in this area, you'll have paving, you'll have the brick wall, then you walk up a set of stairs that matches that, paving, and then you go into the back area of the garden.
Connect the manhole over there.
Yeah.
And another house from there is connected to this one.
So you're saying all the outdoor drainage we do here, we have a soak away here, and we can connect here. That's perfect, man. Standing here, you can see other parts of the house where we can continue with the roof. Like, you know, these little small roofs all around the place. We need to put some insulation here, and then we need to start to tile this. That's why where we're doing the rafters, the roofers can move around, and they always have other work to do. You just need to, they know what they're doing, but you just need to manage their time a little bit. Say, mate, can you attack this roof? And they'll be like, all right, cool, that's going to take me 2 days, no problem, go there. By the time you're done with that, we'll be finished the rafters over there, and then you can do this bit. It's the only way to make sure that we keep on the timeline. That's it, I'm done. I'm heading into Central, but of course, the work continues. We didn't want to schedule in a delivery from the supplier, so we just headed down to the local builders merchants and got ourselves some timber to continue with the roof truss. Really important, this is the underfloor heating going in the basement. We need to get this in place so we can screed the area and then start building up the walls. Give him space. Good lad, well done. Give him space. Oh, that's tight. Oh, P410 XT. 71 plate, yeah? Nice. When I see a lorry going for a tight space like that, I always make sure that I give it loads of space and try and tell the people around me, because, you know, it's difficult, man. You've got so many mirrors, you're trying not to damage the lorry, you're trying not to damage the road, you're trying to keep everyone safe, and that could be my driver. And I'd want someone to be just as courteous to one of my lads. In the yard right now, somebody who works for the consultant company who's helping us get our BSI with the concrete, has arrived. Now, we already know how to do cubes. We do them. They've arrived to just as a refresher and to teach a couple more members of our staff, just so we can have a record of it also, because when BSI turn up for our audit, I can say, yeah, I taught everyone, and they can sign. But, you know, it's better, just not saying they don't believe me, but it's just better to have an external company come in and they can sign and they can show all the people who have been taught. And you know how it works. One teaches one. So we're just brushing up on our best practices, making sure that our cubes are as accurate as possible and reflect the fantastic and strong concrete and compliant concrete that we're going to be pouring.
Oh, this is a British standard scoop. This ain't cheap, this scoop.
Yeah.
And it's coming home with me.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as I thought. The pressure of the liquid pushes the cone up. You penetrate just into the layer below. Right, that has come to there. Take your rod to then clean behind. It's not a quick jerk off, it's literally just nicely stand up with the cone and you slowly raise up. You don't smack it. You get down and you measure. Did you want to go around and...
Yeah, I do.
The highest point underneath. That's basically, in a nutshell, a slump test. Who wants to have a go?
I'll have a go, what?
Look at it as you go. That's it. Go on, lift it up.
It's better than yours, sort of.
Right, that's 85.
Yeah.
So that is a slump test.
Okay.
It's Wednesday morning. I'm in the snow again. Canyon is rolling in the snow again. Time is 5:32. I've been up for about an hour and a half. I plan my days on Thursday and Friday, but they have completely changed because now on Thursday I need to fly to Zurich for 1 day. So I need to go to Switzerland for a day for 2 meetings and then come back straight away. My Saturday is booked. I've got flying lessons on Sunday, and so I'm just going to try and get in before everybody else does. And as they say, rain, sleet or snow, and make an early start. The roads don't look too bad at the moment. There's no black ice on this thing in the snow. 5 a.m. Time is 8:23. I'm at my desk. The lads are going around the yard dropping grit salt everywhere to make sure nobody is going to slip. I can see that we have a cement delivery in, and my 8 o'clock is still not here because they're saying there's a lot of traffic on the road, and they say they want to come to me to discuss a price increase. Well, that's not a meeting that I want to have, but let's see what they got to say for themselves.
You ready?
Yeah.
Go.
It's Thursday. I'm not in the yard. Went on a mission this morning. We're in a garage. You know I want to build an Ashville workshop. I thought we were going to put the shed up first. Chicken, egg, chicken, egg. What I can tell you is this element is going to be a standalone video, but I am very happy we got here at about 6:30. The time is 10 to 9, and I have to be back at a meeting because I have to be back at a meeting. I have to be back at a yard because I've got a meeting at 9:30. But let me tell you, it was an epic morning. If you like the video we did about the Olympic containers where we went in and got the gear, you're going to love this video, and it shouldn't take that long to come out. Should it, Ferretti? What are you saying, Ferretti? What are you saying? How long are you saying?
Give me a week.
A week. Give him a week. Ferretti said give him a week, but Ferretti's trying to be smart because Weekly ain't going to come out for 2 weeks to the Sunday, then the week, so he's giving himself 3 weeks. But anyway, I'm going back to the yard. Thankfully got back to the yard just in time for my meeting, but I was prepared for my meeting from last night. And I'm talking to a company that we're going to have a joint venture partnership with. I already had a set of heads of terms done, and just to be clear on the heads of terms, they're a much bigger company than us. They're a national company, and I made heads of terms, and I had to say this to the gentleman and say, look, I ain't trying to be smart and I'm not trying to dictate to you. I just want us to both be transparent, open book, so we both know where we stand, because the worst thing is you start and then it's, well, I thought you were going to do this and I thought you were going to do that. But no, it was a great meeting. They really want to work with us. It's always good when somebody actually wants to work with you. They've got the same amount of enthusiasm about it that I do, which is very rare. And there were only a few changes. And even in that short meeting, I learnt things from the gentleman. He just gave me a few things what we're gonna amend on the heads of terms, and I'm gonna send it over to him, and hopefully I'll be able to share that with you soon. Now that is gonna be a couple of standalone videos because it's a new business venture for Ashville. I'm gonna try and share with you how I'm gonna put this company together, what I've done, my thinking, and I'm trying to be as transparent as I possibly can without letting my competition get in the door to mean that my business will crash after a little while. I have to hold something back, but I'm gonna give you the majority of it. If it's helpful to any of you guys, you know, hopefully you can apply it yourselves. Frighty was with me earlier filming for the standalone video that we did this morning, which I'm also really happy about. But then he headed up to the luxury bathroom project. Now, bathroom number 2 is there or thereabouts. Is just siliconing. Pop round the back quickly and need to put a plan here. The water connecting into this for it to fill is one thing, but there's going to be a pipe that comes off this. Now we can't have that pipe sagging down because the weight of the pipe is going to be pulling the tank, and what will happen is it will just snap the front here, like one of the fittings will snap. So we're going to run the pipe over onto the wall, and we're going to run it onto here, and we're going to put clamps on the wall to hold it in place, and we're actually going to have a tap here to turn it on and off, because we can't have the drivers climbing up a ladder and turning it on and off up there the whole time. So we're just using the pipe we've already got, this flexi rubber pipe, so we just need to make sure that we've got enough fittings in order to put this together. Speaking of concrete, because this water is of course for the concrete, with the BSI we're going through, previously when we were BSI we were working off a manual ticket book. So let's have a look at one here. Here's one of our tickets. So this is compliant. However, when we move to a digital system, I'll admit we must have missed it. A couple of things on this need to be on the digital system as well. So here's the old one. Hold on. And here's a new one. So we took all the information from the old one and we've moved it onto the new one. And something that's really important with concrete. We arrive and we have settings in the computer to give a certain amount of water. Sometimes when we get on site, the people are like,
Add more water, add more water.
so basically, if you want us to add more water, there's a little box here, you're gonna have to tick it, and you have to print your name, and you have to sign it, as well as signing for the delivery. Because when we add more water, we're interfering with the strength of the concrete and the slump, and we can't get the blame for that because the people on site wanted more water, so they felt it was easier to work with. Now, I'm not saying anyone does that. I'm saying if it happened, we would need to sign and have a record of it, because if cube tests were taken later on and the concrete didn't meet strength, we would know why that happened. Yes. In other news, the refurbishment project, we've been going back and forth and back and forth. Check out my gravel pit. For months now, yeah? And finally, today, everyone was in agreement in the team, and here's the kitchen layout. And in the island in the middle, it's got one of those cool units. It's gonna have teppanyaki, then it's gonna have a massive hob and an extractor. So you can basically use different things and mix match it so you can have what you want. And then we agreed on 2 full-size ovens, 2 dishwashers, 2 full-size fridges, and a small freezer, because we have plans for a kitchen, but we don't know how the client lives. The client actually has an in-house chef, so we need to prepare it so the client enjoys it and the chef finds it usable. So we had like this little cooking triangle. So if you look at it, stand there, you cook, turn around and wash in the double sink, and your ovens and stuff and fridges are over here. Now the next thing, we need to agree on the doors. But there are so many fantastic options, and there's so many other color schemes in the house. Like for instance, look at this door. Matte black doors on the ground floor and the master bedroom. All of the doors are going to be full height double doors for that nice grand entrance. When you bust the door and you say, wow, what a room. And they're going to have matte black handles as well. But we just need to make sure that the different color schemes are different areas in the house, that they don't clash. And we need to make sure they kind of tie into each other, so there's an ongoing theme and little hints of colors as you move through. And I managed to not answer my phone for 5 minutes and the world has probably ended. Anyway, that's it for now. I was going to go to my office, and I realized that we're selling ton bags on pallets. Must be something they need on site. Oh, hold on. Valve. So this is my valve. This time, I'm going back to the office. No, you're not meant to come away. You're meant to we've just cut it off. That's how we cut it out. That's how we stopped it. That's the blackout.
Just cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay. It's Friday morning, and I was on the road again, but now I'm going to get on the plane again. I'm going to Zurich. Well, no, I was filming, so I went to the wrong floor. Right. Not a bad start this morning. I was able to get up a bit later. Got up at 6. Time now is 7:10. I'm in the airport. Flight going to Zurich is at 8:50. In the car on the way here, I was speaking to Terry. All my scheduled emails went out on time. Fantastic. We are making it happen. Optimistic and in the best of health. Doing it. A little bit of a new experience for me. I've never got on a flight and not had to check in bags. I'm only going for a day, so I've just got a small holdall with me. Never done that before. So I went to the queue waiting, and they went, well, what are you doing here? You already checked in online. Traveling light. Just boarded the plane. We're only an hour behind. Not the end of the world. My meetings aren't scheduled until lunchtime. But I can tell you, the train has arrived in the yard. Something has reared its ugly head again, which I thought I had sorted out, but I hadn't. Do you remember a long time ago there was an Ashville Weekly that was cancelled because I've lost everything! We seem to have everything in order now, but our cloud backups, because of the amount of data we have, trying to back it up on a monthly basis, I'm getting really expensive quotes like £500, £600, £700 a month just to keep our data in the cloud, which in a year is astronomical, especially as some of the stuff will be archived and we'll probably never use them again, but we don't want to lose them, we still want to keep them. So I'm trying to find a solution as our third backup. So we'll have live projects, we'll have another storage backup on site, and then we need to back up to a cloud. There is terminology for the free ways to back up, but I don't exactly know what they are. And throughout this journey, I'll keep trying to brainstorm and think about how we're going to do it without costing me $6,000 or $7,000 a year, and also attack some emails. Short hour and a half flight, didn't miss anything. Managed to work on my iPad and phone, and as soon as I got reception, everything's sent. We have someone new starting on Monday, so Matt and I have been working on a lot more professional starter pack. So when you start at Ashville now, you'll receive a letter letting you know who your line manager is, letting you know where you can find all the information in the new cloud, which I've been creating. And I've decided that I'm going to spend some time with people when they start at Ashville. In the past, my fault, I don't want to bombard people and I assume that they'll pick things up as they're going. But now I've had to think about it and I've seen the way things have gone and I've learned from experience. I think that when new people start in key roles, like in the office and stuff, I should sit with them as soon as they start, spend a couple of hours with them in the morning, explain about Ashville, the journey we've been on, the direction we're going, but also explain that the door is always open, let them know about our industry, because some people do the job, but they've done it in a separate industry which is slightly different, explain to them the intensity which we work at, the importance of certain elements, and just let them ask me any questions just so they feel comfortable and feel like they're part of the team, and hopefully that can get the best out of them. That is a nice bit of kit. That was 4 hours of meetings in a, I won't say secret, but in a specialist lounge designed for smoking cigars, where people were talking business and throwing ideas around. Never been anywhere like that before. What an honour. Thanks, Matt. Walking back because of the traffic, I'm going to jump on the train and absorb some more of the lovely scenery in Zurich. on the way back. I'm working, taking a lot of notes down from the meeting, because it wasn't the sort of meeting where you could be writing the entire time, because there was a lot of free ideas and suggestions flowing. So I'm taking the time now to jot everything down and put it in some sort of order. I'm going to send it over to Matt and see if he can develop anything to see if I forgot. But I was definitely in those meetings with the people I was with, I was definitely like a sponge. I was soaking it up. It's great to be in a room where you are probably the person with the least connections and probably the least smartest and probably the poorest. It's great to be in a room like that, to learn from people like that. And I've also never flown into a country to have a meeting for one day and flown straight back out. I've got to Switzerland and got back in less time than it's probably taken me to drive around the M25 in London to meetings sometimes. Great day, man. It ain't over yet. And I got to be in the yard early tomorrow morning. Saturday morning, and I'm in the yard. In my absence yesterday, I can see that the cab of this Volvo was jacked up and the stripping has started. So we've made a start, and I believe that that work will continue on Monday. In the yard, we're loading lorries. Some of the lads are going around checking wheel nuts. We need to do a bit of work on the wheel wash. So if you can see here, we've got a bit of a build-up of mud. You see the road on the way to the wheel wash, and then you see the road after the wheel wash is relatively clean. So we always run the sweeper on a Friday afternoon. So from yesterday, the road's pretty clear. But what we need to do is pick up these ramps and give it a scrape and clean this area, because we do definitely get some build-up here. Doing a bit of maintenance work also on the weighbridge. So we're using a bit of water, cleaning the top of it, and we're also cleaning out any debris that could have fallen down the side. Time is 10 to 1. I'm just arriving at QPR. I am late. I'm gonna have to apologise to my guests, but I'm sure that Wayne is looking after him. I was firing on all cylinders this morning, getting loads of work done, but there was something that I needed to do what I didn't get to do. We have to do a price increase again, because our prices have gone up for aggregates, cement, diesel, absolutely everything has gone up, and we haven't increased our prices. I have to have this ready by Monday morning. So I've got a template of our price list, but in an Excel format. So I'm going to have to look at what we're paying for stuff, look at the increases we've got. Some of them we'll absorb, and some of them we can't. I'll fill it in and then send it to Meds, and he can update our pretty price list, what we send to people. But truth be told, these are only for smaller jobs and people who call us and pay-as-you-go customers and stuff like that, because on big infrastructure projects and large groundwork projects, it's always per job. Because if you're taking out 100 load a day, you don't go from the price list. It just doesn't work like that, because it's a volume game. It will still be done in a way that they call the office, they speak to me, they speak to Terry, and we price it according to how far they are from the yard, how close they are, the quantity they're going to take, and how far they are from the tip or wherever we're collecting the material from, and when the job might be. Because they say the job starts in 6 months, and then the quote's only valid for 30 days anyway, and then we need to change it.
Hey.
How we doing?
How you doing?
You all right? Anyone from my lot here yet?
There's a few people in there.
Already, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. My godson's here today, and he said he wants a phone for his birthday, but his dad's not having it. So then he said a PS5, and his dad's still not having it. So what else do you want for your birthday?
PS3.
PS3, I can't really be buying a PS3, it's a bit dead. Anything else?
I got a water bottle.
What about any diggers and trucks and stuff like that? You don't want any of that anymore?
I'd like a water bottle.
Where's all the trucks that I bought you from before?
In my drawer.
In your drawer? Don't you play with them no more?
I do.
What about a crane? Any cranes? No? You play Minecraft, yeah?
Yeah. Maybe you could get me a game for my Nintendo Switch.
You
Block
got-
survival. You have to survive on one block in the sky.
Alright. I'm used to that. I have to survive every day in the yard. That's difficult. So that sounds like a good game. When are you coming to the yard?
Don't know. When can I?
You can come to the yard anytime you like. Ask your dad to bring you.
What's about on Sunday?
So yeah, you can go on Sunday if you want to go Sunday, yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Alright, cool. This man keeps trying to guess my pin. QPR Watford, game has started, and I'm doing Godfather duties. He's back.
Hi everybody, we're back at St Patrick's Day. Ball brought Daniel for a night out with the paddies. Not wearing his colours though.
I'm wearing colours.
No, you're not wearing the colours.
No, but you were wearing it. I didn't want to upstage you.
Oh right, okay. You don't upstage me.
Well, Michael's invited me down for St Patrick's Day, and there's going to be 300 people in the ballroom at the Intercontinental Hotel.
Yeah, Park Lane.
Park Royal.
Park Royal. No, not Park Royal. Park Lane. We didn't fancy Park Royal. There was no hotel big enough to hold it.
And Michael was afraid I'll try and film him later and we'd have some more. Festivities are going to start in a minute and we're going to have a great day and celebrate St Patrick's.
Yeah, that's it. Up the paddies, boy.
It's late. We've got to go home.
We've got to go home.
Yeah.
The Dicky Bows my
Dicky Bows have gone.
Well, yours are still on.
But I know we're going to be here again. And we love it, don't we?
We do.
My best mate. You know that.
We've had a lovely night. We had some live music. They took me through all the Irish songs. I tried to learn them as I was going, but
Yeah, but you couldn't learn them. He don't know the Irish songs, does he?
Yeah, and I'm not sure my dance moves were really what was expected.
Dance moves weren't they? Not good.
Yeah, but we did get to say, hey!
Hey! You know that, don't you? Here we go. Look, and don't come on my manor again, Steve.
Just telling people don't bring lorries on his manor.
There we go. Good night, everybody.
That's it. We're signing off.
Signing off.
Sunday, and I'm in the yard. Unfortunately, my flying lesson was cancelled this morning because my instructor Hamza, he was flying and he got stuck somewhere and he couldn't fly back. So I couldn't do my lesson without him. And I didn't want to learn with anybody else. He teaches me in a way that I understand. I went to the gym, and you know when you're squatting 3 plates and you're doing 4 sets of 15, and then one of the old school guys, Dave his name is, comes up to you and says,
"What are you doing? You should be doing sets of 20. And if you were training hard enough, you wouldn't be coming off that squat rack with a smile on your face."
No, I'm smiling at you. I'm not smiling, I'm smiling at you. So I had to reconsider and reevaluate my life at that point. I was meant to be doing all my work from home today, but there's a document what I needed to work on, what I explained yesterday about pricing. And I want to get all these prices done today, and I want to send them to Terry so Terry can check them and we can put our new price list together. Turns out I don't know how to use the cloud properly because I took this document and I put it on the cloud, and when I went to look at it at home earlier, the document wasn't there. So I'm thinking that the cloud isn't syncing. I got all sorts of problems. But then what happened is I clicked on it when I got back here, and I realized that because the file name was incorrect, because you can't use certain characters, it didn't upload it to the cloud. So I had to come all the way to work because of that. So I'm going to work on this pricing document. So I'm going back to the document what I told you in the past, the matrix I created, telling me the price I pay for material, the price we pay for cement. I'm putting that together and ensuring that I'm trying to keep our prices as competitive as possible, but these prices are for people who just call up. Like you call up and say, I just need 8 meters of concrete for my extension. This isn't for people doing large infrastructure projects calling every day. Like those are done on a per job basis. And some good news, Rob Gerard, who purchased a QPR top in the charity auction at the Milford Hospice in Limerick, he now has his top. Now, Rob, I went to a lot of trouble to get all the QPR players to sign that, so please don't be wearing that on the ski slopes. If you want, I can introduce you to some people that can frame it. But we're happy Rob got his top and everything went to a good cause. The time now is 4:24. I don't know what time we're going to finish this, but I'm staying here till it's finished. I'm going to set up an email which hits Terry's inbox, not 6:30, because he'll be running around the yard, about 7 a.m. so Terry can verify it, and we have someone new starting tomorrow as well. So I want to print off their welcome letter, sign it, and I want it to be on their desk when they arrive tomorrow. And that's it for Ashville Weekly, episode 127. Click here for the Ashville website, click here to subscribe to our channel, click here to see an Ashville video you may not have seen before, and click here for last week's episode, which was number 126. C25. Meter. Ooh. Okay.